Ooh.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Love Reality Games podcast. I am Josh, joined today with CK and Liz.
I'm
Randomly has
gate
jumped on.
crashing.
She
Season
is gate
season
crashing.
season 3 superstar Liz
That's it.
from backyard.
Yep. I
Yeah, I'm
think
the
she's
one
one.
that Josh remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh from this current season. Yeah.
Yeah.
And while he did, and why I have you, I've always wanted you to answer this question. I've asked you it before, and you dodge it. Why
Okay.
didn't you play your idol? You obviously had an idol. You were obviously the boot. Why didn't you play it?
Why didn't I play it?
Yeah.
'Cause I just didn't make the decision fast enough. I don't know, because in my head I was like, you know what? Because I said I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit.
You wanted the
But there
super
was no
idol?
biscuit.
Because
I
you wanted the
risked-
super idol?
What? Yes.
You wanted the super idol, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did
Fair
you
enough.
wish you were in Hal's position though? Like, because you and Hal went together, and now Hal won. He just went up.
Are we talking about season 3 here, or are we talking about season 4? Like,
Okay, let's go on to season 4. There's something I need to talk about season 4 immediately. I think it was the most significant thing about the episode, and I think other people have already been chatting about it. I dropped into a group chat and saw people talking about it, but I was thinking about this before I even saw this. Why does Marty have a cross across his nipple?
Nipple chafing.
Is he having that significant? Is he running a marathon? Like, I know that happens when you run a marathon.
Marty
maybe
is a marathon runner. Maybe.
Shit.
And of course, we had the thirsty shot of him taking off his shirt. For everyone's enjoyment. That's a quality programming choice.
Poor Marty. Poor Marty. I hope his nipples are okay.
Yeah. Some
Yeah.
serious chafing though. Double crossed. Double crossed.
That's it. maybe they were taped from like a previous marathon he's run, and he just doesn't want that pain of ripping off that band-aid. Because I can imagine how much that would hurt.
What, you just been putting it off like that long? Like,
Yeah, maybe.
Particularly if you've got like you got some hair on there, as boys often
like,
do.
if you can go through the pain of running a marathon, you can go through the pain of like pulling off a band-aid from your chest.
It's a bit of that short. It's that short, quick pain versus
Yeah.
the longer, dull pain. They're different mindsets.
I mean, have you guys ever used like nipple tape, like boob tape?
No.
No.
Yeah,
No, I don't really have boobs to do that, unfortunately.
that just great. No, no. You could do that if you could form something up there. Anyway, but yeah, no,
Okay,
when you
thanks.
when you take it off, it hurts, right? But like, it's the same as like taking off like a bandage or something. Like you got to
Okay.
do it.
So this was some top. I may have derailed the show already. Let's move on from Marty's nipples and onto the program.
Not Nipplegate. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the last tribal cancer we just went through, and the Jake boot out just really quickly, and how the votes were spread, because a lot of people were telling truth bombs in front of OG Yellow. So Josh and Fu were talking about how they flipped to Jake last minute in front of like Matt B.
Mhm.
And I think it was Joe. I could be wrong with these people, but they did explain it to OG Yellow that it was actually one of their OG Yellow tribe members that flipped to Val
Correct.
last minute.
Yes.
What do you think of this move? Like, clearly, as a person on the bottom, you would have to try and throw some distrust into the OG Yellow tribe.
Well,
here.
it helps that it was the truth.
Yeah.
Do I believe that Matt? See, Matt was the one who basically said they're full of it. Only one of them switched. Us yellows all stayed strong. They're lying. That's what he was very, very clear about when he went back to the rest of the yellows. He didn't believe that both Fu and Jake flipped. He thought it was a lie that they were trying to do to get under the yellow's skin, which, of course, was actually the truth. Did Matt actually believe this is the question? Because he used this saying it was a lie to re-galvanize the yellows, which ultimately worked out for this vote. He was very adamant that it was not the truth. And that killed the plan.
Yeah, we've seen like Matt reminds me a little bit of Andrew from last season. how he's
Really?
trying. No, he does, because he keeps trying to rebuild that old alliance. Like,
Oh yeah, like bring it back to like
bring
like
it back
the
together.
like like
Yeah.
the 5,
Yeah, it's like, we've got to make it together. Let's make it together. Let's try and fix these cracks that are happening. And that's what Andrew was trying to do a lot in his season.
Except impressively, Matt is also at the same time planning on white-handing them all and make a separate alliance with a bunch of different other people.
Correct. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
True.
Matt's really, we've seen a lot more of Matt this episode, which is really good, because we didn't actually get to see much of his. Yeah, we didn't get to see much of his brain work throughout the rest of the season that we've seen. But the fact that he's playing this way and also having that other additional alliance is really another layer to what Andrew was doing in last season. Because Andrew was just staying with that alliance and didn't have any other option, where Matt's got these other options to go off and stuff like that. He's really surprising me, really, in this episode.
So I think it was a good move to tell the truth, because it revealed that someone had flipped, and everyone on the other side seemed to know that it was Sal had done it. They were like, oh, it was probably Salvador. And that was correct. But so it was a good plan to tell the truth there. And if it was for not Matt's ability to galvanize the group and say that's ridiculous, why would they tell us that? Why would they be just fessing up on this sort of information? They're lying. They're trying to break us up. It was a great move that he countered even better. And that ended it, really. But it was a great move to tell the truth.
Yeah, it was. I agree.
And also, was it a good move for like Fu to turn that on, like being like, oh, it's putting it onto Abby, like it was Abby who flipped,
Well, it was, because that absolutely raised the paranoia in Valentina, who is just so convinced that Abby's trying to get her. But again, Matt was there calming Valentina down, keeping her like in control, saying it's not happening, Abby's not coming for you.
Which is funny, because Abby's like more against Matt than she is against Valentina.
Yeah.
Abby's episode here was maybe Matt can share us some light about the nipples. No, we're not going to talk about that anymore. The Abby's, I would say, reaching a level of overplaying that means she can't last too much longer. She's really getting too big and too high and just running around frantically. But I'm glad that she's remained. I want her to keep going, because if she wins this thing, because of the fact that thereafter I voted her out in a mini org, it's sort of like the Elder Wand. I become the winner. It's like,
not how it works. Absolutely not.
I don't think I've never really voted out a winner, so I can't say I've ever won. One day.
Well, Abby's my winner pick, so fingers crossed.
Well, as a winner pick, I feel like she's perhaps burning up a bit too bright at the moment. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Like, Abby gives me like Tony vibes.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
Like frantic as, and Tony won with this.
Just always like on,
Yeah,
moving.
And here's the thing: Abby is still in a majority alliance, right?
True.
She's one of the only people to have talked to the Red as well. Now I could see her flipping at this point in time, like after this vote that happens further down.
This would be a good time to flip.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think I think it's so, but I think she's already made the mistake that's going to cost her, in that she is in all these alliances, but she doesn't have like a core person, and that core person was probably Jake. Jake could have been her woo, right?
Yeah.
And he probably would have just gone along with her because he thinks that like he's charming her and she's in his pocket, and then she could just reveal in the final tribal council that she's gay, and none of that charm meant anything. And it would have been like such a zinger. Like, that was her woo. And I don't know who her woo is going to be now, and I don't know who's going to have her back once the yellows implode.
I think our final three at the moment, like just going off what I could predict happening, there is a talk of the final three girls with Kiara, Joe, and Abby. There's a bit of talk there. You also see a couple of moments when they're all talking together. Val doesn't like Abby. However, they've voted out Val before, so they'll do it again. I don't see them not doing it again. But Abby seems to be in with Kiara and Joe really well.
I can't see Joe. Why would Joe go to that final 3 though? She's losing to one of those 2.
Oh no, she'll go to the final 3, but I don't see Joe. Joe to me doesn't seem like. I don't want to sound harsh.
No, I think, yeah, she's the kind of person
she's not
at the end, and she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'll have a crack at it," you know.
Yeah,
But she's not.
Like,
She's
I'll
going to be
have a crack at proving my case with these guys because they're the ones I've been with like the whole time.
okay. I can hear you.
You know?
But she's not going to beat Abby with the game Abby's playing, or beat Kiara with her story of being, the redemption player.
But I feel like she'd care a bit less about that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she'll make a move in the next bit and like kind of separate her game from them.
But here's the thing though, with Joe, we don't really see much of her game at all. She hasn't had much of a strategy side because she is not talking to the red at all. She's only fixated on her original yellow tribe, right? Which is good for her at the moment.
To the red quite a bit. She talks.
She talks, but you just don't see any like.
Game.
She's in the best position when yellow do implode because of the 6 yellow, she's the least threatening. And if they're trying to take each other out, you've got Abby with her huge game. You've got Matt, who clearly has a lot of influence and control. You've got Kiara's redemption. You've got Valentina coming back from redemption. And then you've got Salvador, who's hooked in with everyone, is really social. Like, all of these people need to go.
Yes, exactly. She's had a coffee.
Maybe strategy will come out of Joe now because she's had a coffee.
Coffee did not improve my strategy at all in Backyard Survivor 3. So I don't know. I don't know if coffee is the great answer, but
I mean the obvious strategy for you, Liz, was just to play the idol.
Yeah.
Yes.
Coffee didn't help that. Like,
And like, why would you want to keep that dinner plate for much longer anyway, really? I would have just got rid of it.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Why don't we talk about the auction, considering Salvador raised the auction and we're in the coffee? I like the
What's
auction.
your thoughts? I thought it would have been better as the first challenge, like the merge challenge or whatever. Like, why was the auction like after the first boot? Like, why wouldn't it be the first thing in the morning? I don't know. I was a bit confused by that.
Because it was like a cute breakfast thing.
Yeah, but breakfast was in the morning. Breakfast was before the first round. I don't know. That's just what I think anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless of the play. Yeah.
I like the beggars table.
Yeah.
Yes, I love the beggars table. How it's not just like, oh, you get everything. It's like, you got to beg for it.
Now, I want to talk about some of the strategy that went into the bidding. So the non-yellows were wanting to target Abby prior to the auction, yet no one outbid her for the advantage in the challenge. She didn't have to go too far. I think she only bid maybe 150, 200 or something. And people had money to outbid her based on what we saw. There could have been an edit there, but because later on there was the bid on the kids' yogurt where they went up to $400. So Salvador could have outbid her based on the knowledge we have, but that doesn't really make sense for him because he's supposed to be aligned with her. So why would you do that? But Josh could have outbid her as well. And is this a strategic move by Josh to not reveal the hand that they don't want Abby to win? Or is it a bit of I want the food situation?
To be honest, I don't think people were... like the edit was showing there was a lot of like Abby hate, right? But I really don't think everyone was trying to make sure she didn't win. Like, I don't think that was in their mindset. They had other targets if they ever needed to get rid of them.
So you think it's better to not show your hand then?
I don't show my hand in an auction. I think I just get food. I get something that makes me full for the day, something that gives me sustenance. Or I go for an advantage.
Josh, yeah, who are you kidding? Advantage, you're like $400. So you'd be like,
give me it now. No. Imagine if somebody paid $450 for the challenge advantage just to not play the challenge. It'd be hilarious. What's your thoughts on that? Like on having to have money at the end of the auction?
I feel like they didn't make that. Oh no, they did make that clear. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I like how Matt apparently like Matt C like forgot that like he needed the $100, but he just happened to have it. And then he won the challenge.
Oh, and then giving the money. He also had enough money to. Oh no, he didn't bring his best buddy Mike in. He bought Mike his letter, which I thought was very nice.
Oh
yeah, correct. Yeah, and Kiara bought Michael a ticket into the.
Yes, which again,
which just shows how good she is at the social game. It's
I think both Marty and Kiara are really great at the social game. But Marty was giving it to his buddy, but it really was Kiara. It's a good social move to do it, but I think that's just going to make her all the more threatening. It's like, you don't want to go to the end with Kiara. Like, she got booted out. She comes here, makes it to the end. Everyone loves her. Like, no one's going to go to the end with her. Yeah, there you go. There's Michael. I'm glad I was here on this a couple of weeks ago. I said Marty and Mike were my faves. They're still here. And I said they were going to be huge merge targets, but I don't think they are anymore. I think
it doesn't seem like it.
They're not the guys you're looking at going, they're going to beat me at the end. I think they can beat them at the end. But at the moment, all these yellows and I think Rachel's still probably a bit more intimidating as a threat level at the end. There's so many more that I just feel like the Mike and Marty duo are going to just keep rolling through as not the target.
Yeah, which is scary because they both can have like quite a case against like a number of people.
Yeah.
How has nobody not thrown out Marty's name yet? I'm like shocked.
Yeah, same. I thought
I'm like shocked. I'm like, he's such a lovable guy. Like, we don't even see him in the edit that much at the moment, which is a bit sad. But all we see is just nipples.
At the start, though.
We just get nipples from Marty at the moment. I think we'll see more of Marty's nipples than him himself. But yeah, I just don't.
Magic.
Yeah, that'll be one of the extra edgic ones if she ever does the edgic, that is. But yeah, I don't understand why he's not being targeted.
Just playing a great sort of lightly under the radar game. Those two have won the first two immunities though. So that could bring them up as potential challenge threats, which was my perception of them, that they were going to be targeted on that basis. But when you've got the two of them, it's like, well, we can always vote out one or the other. So like when we want to get rid of the pair, we just get rid of the one that doesn't win immunity. So there's always the option there to keep them both around for a while, if particularly as it looks like the yellows are going to implode and make moves on each other.
But also think about how worried they were about like Jake just winning out in immunities. Like if they can be worried about him, they can be worried about like Matt or Michael as well.
Possibly, yeah. But I don't know why they voted out Jake. That was a mistake.
What could we potentially see a pagonging?
No.
I think there was a very poignant part of the edit that will tell me that is not happening.
Yeah.
And that was Kiara's moment about her letter putting in place her thoughts about this game before she came. And that she didn't want to be, someone that hangs around with the group and then just gets to the end. That she wanted to make moves.
Time to switch it up.
Now, she didn't do it this vote, and I think that was probably the right call. But I think that was in the edit for a reason. I think it was the last letter commentary we heard. I think it was very poignant and potentially points to her direction in the game from here on as a bit of an edit read. But I think it does seem that things are going to change there. And I think I also think that it's unlikely that Salvador would want to go just to the end with these 6 yellows. So with 2 people, and Abby's too much of a player to want to do that either. Like, it's just...
Yeah. I personally think we could be seeing a potential Matt B blindside next.
Smart move. That'd be the right move.
I think it's the right move. I think by Kiara as well. By Abby, it makes sense.
Abby just needs to actually vote for him.
Yeah, I just don't understand that. I don't understand her logic. I'll talk about her in a second, but that's the right move. That's the right move.
Because he's the one holding yellow together. So just get rid of him, and yellow falls apart anyway. So that suits everybody. He's turning on as a big player right now.
I don't think a lot of control. Are aware that he's the one holding them together, though.
The yellows, I think the yellows know that, but what did we think of when a name was presented to him in the yellow group? I think it was Rachel, and he's like, no, or Fu. It was Rachel or Fu, and he's like, no. And he's like,
really? Didn't he vote for Fu?
I can't remember. Maybe he got talked around. Maybe it was Rachel. But yeah, he's like, no. And then like Abby's like, no, but they're already doing that. And he's like, no. He's like, is that how you work with an alliance to say no 12 times in a row?
I think he's right. I think the best way to get a name off the block is to offer up somebody else, and then give reasons of why that person would be the better boot option. And then see if people grab onto that and then just go with that. Like, if you don't want your alliance member going because you're in a secret alliance with someone, throw up like a bigger challenge threat. Let's throw it at this person because they're a bigger challenge threat.
I think that's what he did. I think he
better
said
socially. Mine. Yeah, that's what he did exactly the right thing in that aspect to try and get Rachel off the block. But however, like, you don't say no. you don't do what he did. You don't do what he did in that aspect. You give him like, maybe this might be the better option. Let's look at our options and then go from that route.
We went past it a bit. Do we want to talk about the letters? I haven't seen that in a 2-day, 3-day game before. I think it was actually pretty great. People got a bit emotional. And because they, hadn't read what had been written, I felt like, just from, it might have been better to do this like a final 7, just because there were so many of them that you're sort of like, oh, I'm getting inundated with this. But I think in the whole, it was the fact I'm sure they were so chuffed they actually got the emotion out of the players, because that gave that real survivor moment. And Kiara's was very special. And of course, Marty's, being a late call up for the show, didn't have one, so he got quite the lovely one from my favorite Calvin, which I thought was quite hilarious.
So look, I'm not really an emotional person.
Group chat, Josh.
I am not an emotional person, so I found the letters to be sort of like not it. But in saying that, though, it was nice to see some emotion because you don't really get to see it in games. And this season has been full of it, which has been great.
And I think the game, like all these things are about emotion, right? Like watching and stuff. It's about like empathizing with people and feeling stuff. Yeah. And I think it's a big edge that it has over like the past 3 seasons of Backyard. Like there's been emotion, sure, but like not really like this. Like this has been proper like, and
the stellar editing.
Yes.
Putting in the photos, the family photos, the photos of the couple. You see more of these people outside of the game. It was just incredibly well put together. And to draw actually out some feelings, some emotions, to make you care even more about these characters. I said it when I was on this show, on this podcast, the first time a few weeks ago, that this season of Backyard really is creating a whole new gold standard of the amateur live reality game in Australia and potentially the world. Like it's really just hitting every point perfectly. They're doing such an amazing job.
I think the only thing they can really add next time is potentially like the promos where they go to the person's work and see what they do for work. Like that's the only thing I think they're missing. Like everything else.
Australian Survivor, like ultra dramatic ones where it's like,
maybe some like really super high definition, like slow-mo shots of people in mud or something. Maybe we'll get that next season.
Keen.
Yeah, but like I can't really think of anything else they could add. Like it has been like top notch. The editing and getting all them photos from like when people were babies and stuff was pretty cool too. I like that. It was cool.
It was really lovely.
Cool. Yeah. I just don't think I would cry after 2 days. But like
maybe Josh, you just don't have someone in your life that could give you a message that would generate those sorts of feelings.
Nah, you're probably true, to be honest. Nobody really loves me. Let's be real.
Who would your letter be from, Josh? If you were like Liz and I are both married, so that's probably who's sending ours. But who would you have your letter from?
I would probably get words of encouragement of like doing something in the game, like from a mate that like knows I'm going there. That's what I would ask for.
Would you get something from Vince, your regular?
Yeah, maybe Vince. Maybe I'd ask Liz for some words of encouragement, or maybe I'd ask Tara. Maybe
do it like a hate letter.
Yeah.
But like a motivational one, that's like, Josh, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'd want something to. I want something to like
out, like being like, oh, you sucked in those challenges. even though I obviously have no idea. You know, shit like that.
I'd maybe want someone to tell me to like have sympathy and to realize other people actually have like a brain in the game as well, because I don't really think that sometimes. And
eye drops.
Yeah, like make me cry or something. Just like cry of laughter, so that it looks like I was crying from my. Yeah, make it look like I was crying from my. Yeah, actually no, I would go with Mel. I would go with Mel. Yes, I would definitely take the love letter.
In the end of the day, you would be like, the letter would say, "Hey, you weren't the first boot. You know, you've already won. Somehow you've either made the merge. Like this is just dream come true."
Yeah. I hope if I ever play that we get the love letters at the first tribal, just so I still get to read them. Let's move a little bit forward. So the challenge with the coin stacking. What is your thoughts on this challenge? I know we stay in nearly every single LRG. Look, low-key, not a fan.
And is this a common challenge? I haven't seen this before. Is it common?
It is so common in LRGs.
It's in a lot of the college ones, like Maryland, and like Michigan, all them. I don't like it because I find it aesthetically unappealing. But at the same time, while I was typing that, telling people that, right, as we were watching it, my husband just was like randomly, "Oh, I love this challenge." So, you know, like everyone's got different opinions, but I'm not a fan.
I am someone that tunes out in challenges, and even more so in these sorts of LRG challenges. It's just, you know, I'm there for the strategy.
That's so ironic because you're editing some of this Melbourne Survivor challenges.
That's right. So I'm just I'm making it as entertaining as possible. But I did like this. I was into this. I like this. I actually like this coin thing.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. Like, this is one of the things I just dislike. I hate just watching people stand there. Like,
but it's
in any Survivor.
It's like an endurance challenge.
Yeah,
thing.
but I don't. I'm not a fan of them endurance. Give me weights. Give me like heavy weights. Give me like something that they have to hold on to. So give me something like that instead of just standing there with a sword. They usually have it on a baseball bat in America, so it's actually a lot harder because the end of it's rounded.
Yeah, the point would make it easier. Yeah, they should use a cricket bat. Why weren't they using a cricket bat then?
Technically, it's even worse though. Like I like to at least have their nice painted, you know, stick.
Like, I liked it more than I liked it more than the ball bouncing challenge last week.
Yeah, but that was kind of satisfying, like the bounce, like you hear the sound, like it's like.
Maybe it's just because I hadn't seen this before. So I hadn't seen this challenge before. I was a little bit interested in it. You guys obviously seen it a bazillion times, so you've lost interest in it. What I want to know.
I'm sorry, Calvin. I'm sorry. we're allowed to not like something, and I
want to know. As Calvin says, it was hot and they could go into the shade once they were out of it, but they were all lying on the freaking asphalt. Like there was grass like 1 meter from where they were. Why would you lie on
was in the shade?
It was, but the grass was also in the shade.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Did you production that's here on the chat, did you make them lie on the freaking basketball court or did they just do this for some reason? There's no in the chat.
So why it was like 31 degrees. Why were they whinging about the heat? I used to grow up in like 45-degree heat and it was fine. I'm confused. Anyway.
Yeah, you go back to Mildura in like summer and you'll be like, this was not fine.
In Adelaide once we had 14 days where it was over 40 consecutively in March.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You're used to it. Yeah. 31 degrees.
You guys weren't like complaining like
that's chump change weather. That's just
like
they
every
weren't
day.
Complaining though. Everyone was just sort of just, you know, standing there with their sword doing it.
I don't believe no one was complaining. People were complaining.
Invite me over, Calvin. Invite me over. Invite me over, and I will come play your challenges.
What you know how they could do free choice with the coins? What would have happened if they then ran out of the coins they needed to place on the thing?
Do you reckon they would have had to like stand on one leg?
Oh, why? Because they ran out of
You have
coins.
to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Or is that a different?
No,
trial?
I mean, like, no, because they were able to do free choice, and
Yeah.
then Kyle Brown would say, okay, 50 cents, 20 cents, $1, free choice. If you used all your free choice, say 50-cent coins, and then he's like 50 cents, and you don't have one, what would have happened?
I don't know.
Maybe they just had so many that it didn't really matter.
Possibly. What do we think about Abby's bee situation? Was that a bit of strategy to get a better spot, or is she actually allergic to bees?
I reckon Joe should have been moved as well, like just for a funny joke. But
I like the
yeah,
strategy.
I don't know.
Imagine
Like,
if
we've
the
had-
coins were falling. It's like, I got to beat a bee.
Yeah, we had a bee incident earlier on in the day before as well.
Yes.
Somebody got stung by a bee. Was that Abby?
Michael. Was it Michael?
Was it Michael?
I think it was Michael. He got stung on the face.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that would have hurt.
He's tough. That's why I love him so much. That's why I love you, Michael. He's got the strength because he has a newborn, and once you've gone through the challenges of having a newborn and having no sleep, you are well prepared for this strength. $700. That's a lot of coins.
Hey.
That is a lot of coins. That is a lot of coins.
Wait,
So-
I just want to imagine like how that would go, like going to the bank and like withdrawing that. Like
The bank will just give you the money. They give you the coins.
Yeah.
There's also the
but
change.
they're not like,
there's
why? Are you sure you want this in coins? Like you don't want this in notes or no coins? Like, and specifically these amounts? Like,
a roll of like $2 coins is like $50.
yeah, I guess like it's like you get it for like a float
much.
and your cash thing
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So Marty wins the challenge. Great effort on what I think was a good challenge. And then they go back, and Salvador's got his clue to the idol, which is the same clue that everyone else has already got about the idol, about the water well. That has nobody found this, or are we not being shown in the edit? Like, is it secret idol going on here?
No, I think no one's found it yet.
Nobody's found it.
Purposely like
No one has found a single idol that has been at every single water well on a piece of wood that is clearly sticking out, and I think is getting pulled out more as time goes on, with a cross on it and a bit of paint. Like, and you see them all over the water well. They're lifting stuff up. They're moving. They're all over it. I reckon the edit's playing secret idol with us, and someone has it, and we just haven't been told as
Yeah,
well.
I think so too.
Imagine if
I
it's
get that
Mappy.
feeling. Yeah, if Mappy pulls out the idol at this
Mappy
travel,
has the idol all along.
Well, that's what
It'd
Abby
be
says. Abby says
Yeah.
he's got the
Maybe
idol.
Abby's right.
yeah, it'd be amazing to watch, like just that instant of like. Mappy
And they'll do a
just looking up
flashback.
the idol.
They'll do the
Yeah.
Survivor 41,
See,
42
that's
flashback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love a flashback. I love a flashback.
Theory now?
moment.
Is this? I think we've got a theory now.
Yeah, the theory is going to be real. I manifest it, to be honest.
Though I agree
But-
with Salvador's view that the idol must still be in play. Of course, this is now the green merge idol, not the 3 other idols or at the other camps, because he got the same clue. Like, they wouldn't give him that clue
Correct.
if it wasn't available. So it is still there at the green well now for him to go and get.
He also got the other clue. Salvador was the guy with the other clue for the rock.
The rock
There's
thing,
a rock. Yeah, that nobody seems to have picked up. The rock looks like it's got duct tape on it or something.
It does, but like, I think, I feel it's an interesting dynamic here in these couple of tries because it's so big. What are you going to do? Like Salvador's got the clue, but he's in a majority alliance, so he can't really, like, he says he's been looking, but he can't look too much. And everyone else could run around like crazy trying to find it, but they're not so dead in the water that that's what they should be doing. Like, they should be building relationships and trying to make a move. So it doesn't really suit anyone to go hunting for an idol right now.
Yeah, I think the only people going to be searching for something now would have to be the red. OG red. They
Now I think they could do it.
Yeah, they know of the idol clue as well because Sal told him the idol clue, and what it was, because he told him this episode. We're going to have Fu join us in about 10 minutes. So
awesome.
Yeah, let's.
Sure, I thought you said food, and I was like, you're getting like food ordered in the middle of your podcast? Like what?
I have some fantastic questions for Fu. I'm excited.
Yes. One of the robbed plays of the season, and if there is ever an All-Star season of any combination
Needs food.
of All Stars Backyard or All Stars like Australia wide or whatever it is, needs food.
Absolutely.
I think she's fantastic, and I want to also just talk about though it's the last blue, and what an iconic cluster of a tribe this blue that David put together back in episode 1. We had David who spiraled into an absolute pit of paranoia like 2 minutes when he ceased being safe. He was either paranoid or OG blue after he put it together. He was just so paranoid all the time. You had Dan, the most expressive person I've ever seen, probably on any Survivor. No one laughs at his jokes as much as he does. It's always enjoyable for a good time. You had Julie, who, has become even more relevant to the cultural zeitgeist with running up that hill, becoming such a huge smash hit again. And she was the first one who had to run up that hill and had those challenges. So there's real like Stranger Things connection there with Julie. You've got, of course, Jake, who everyone was so intimidated by, even though he basically did nothing the entire game. Just the aura of him intimidated everybody. But we can't underestimate the value of him basing his whole connections on his ability to charm a woman who he later found, or he didn't realize was actually not into men. And she said as such when she voted for him, which I thought was pretty fantastic. Yeah, both those. I'm sorry, I'm into girls. It was just a great voting. It's going to be an all-time LRG voting confessional.
And when she votes for him again, sorry, still gay.
Yeah, that's top. That's the top content.
I loved it so much.
And then we've got Fu, the last person standing, and she was the last person standing because she just knifed them all in the back and she went off.
She's like, okay, bye, goodbye. Stab. I love it so much.
What a tribe.
However, if she ever gets on again, people are going to be like, yeah, I can't trust you. We know what happened last time.
What a tribe. And if you go back to the first couple of episodes, they were the dominant ones. They won the first couple of challenges. They were like killing it, and they swapped and the whole thing imploded.
She amazing one-liners as well. Like
food.
Yeah.
So many.
She probably could have had every single episode title, and I would have been okay with it. Like, I wouldn't have cared.
Do we think it was the right move to vote her out?
No.
For some people, not for others.
Yeah, for some. I think for the girls in yellow, yes.
Yeah.
I think for everyone else, no. I think Red. I know Red didn't vote her out, but I don't think it's a
best choice for everyone either.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It does suck.
Has she been listening? Is she listening in the room? Is she in the soundproof booth listening to this?
I have no idea. I can't really tell. I know we've got a react from Red. Yeah. We got a react from Fu. So she must be listening.
She's just heard my complete assessment of the tribe that David created that she destroyed and gave us such enjoyment over the last 10 episodes. 10 episodes?
We low-key thank David for choosing such a messy tribe for all of that.
So good.
It was really good. We've got 5 minutes, so we'll quickly go through our Kiss, Marry, Kill before we go any further. Do you want to give us your kill first? We'll go with Liz, I guess.
Oh, cool. All right. I just gate crush this, and now I get my own thing. All right. Kiss, Marry, Kill. All right. Well, I haven't thought about this. Okay.
Do you want to go? We'll switch. We'll switch.
Yeah,
I'll kill first. Okay.
Right.
Abby. Horrendous episode. Like, I want Matt B gone, but I'm not going to vote for him. But you all have to vote this way.
No, but it could have worked.
No, I'm sorry. You can't be like that assertive and then expect it to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to happen if you're that assertive. Like, nothing. Like, my game doesn't like. If I listen to her, like my game's screwed. Like, if I listen to that rap.
I agree with you, Josh. It's Abby. As I said, she's just a manic ball of just throwing different things at the wall, trying to create just moves. It's going to make everyone go, "This is too much. You're too much. I don't like what you're doing. Who knows what you do?" And frankly, I'm very familiar with what she's doing because this is how I play orgs, and I'm always one of the most popular players, and I'm always out about ninth because this is the sort of shit that people don't like you doing. Throwing, just doing too. Destabilizing.
Yeah,
that's what she is. She's just destabilizing, and people don't like that when they're in a position of some comfort.
Correct. How about you, Liz?
All right, we're doing kill. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I could go kill Abby. Yeah, I think it was a bit of a there was some mistakes made potentially this episode. She's standing out a lot more. Could be gone pretty soon. So yeah.
Alrighty. Mary?
Is that long term or is it the?
No, sorry. We'll go Kiss first. So Kiss is
good episode. Yeah. Matt B. Just absolutely galvanized that yellow tribe. I thought they were going to implode in this one, and he managed to undo those moves that were made, which were really, as we talked about before, kept the tribe together, managed to bring Valentina and Abby back together. Obviously kept Abby from just completely spinning off this planet this episode somehow. So, I think that Matt B just played this really, really well.
Yeah. I actually might go sell Vidor here. He somehow got away with what he did, and Yellow still trust him. Yet he's still able to have conversations with Red, and see what they're voting as well. So he actually has a lot of he has a lot of knowledge and a lot of control. Yeah, like damage control. This episode was really good. I did not expect this to happen at all. But yeah, I think for him it was a good episode because he was able to control what happened last time. However, I don't think it's going to be a good thing long term. So it's only a Kiss for that reason. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Rachel for just not being in the vote this round because it seemed like it was more her name that was on the table. And then she kind of sat back in a way that allowed Fru's more going for Abby to kind of come through. So yeah.
I just want to talk about what Matt just said real quick. Yeah, I did guarantee that. I didn't expect Sal to be such a great player. So yeah,
Sal's been pretty good all season.
Yeah, he has been. I just didn't expect he hasn't had this opportunity for damage control, so I didn't expect it to be so good. Which is scary for every other player when they move forward. But yeah.
But I think if you have that good damage control, you should flip back. Keep the flipping going because you can just damage control your way out.
And I think that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
I think him and Kiara moving forward are going to.
So what, Mary?
Mary, yeah.
I can't go past, my boys Marty and Mike. Mike's probably not for this world much as long. I think Marty is playing a really incredible under the radar game. But long term, I'm a person who reads the edit, and that comment from Kiara, I feel like she's really this is the time you can do nothing. You can just be in a group up until this point. You don't need control. That's the perfect way to play Survivor. And then now you take control, you make the moves, you build the resume on top of being the returning player. This whole season is about being a redemption player. I feel that note was very poignant, and I feel like that Kiara is gonna take this all the way, which I'm sure if that's what happens, Kyle and Brian would be very, very excited about from a storyline point of view.
Yeah. So you're saying Kiara?
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, she phenomenal. The season 3 cast are lucky they got rid of her. She just has so much charisma. She's not needy or greedy as well. She just comes across insanely nice. She has a lot of tact from what happened last time as well. So I think moving forward for her, she has like the most open road.
Yeah.
She has different allies in the red as well. So yeah, she's definitely going to be one person.
And no one sees her as threatening or as a player. So that's who you want to be. And then you want to make those moves and then be able to talk about them at the end. Like, you don't want to be seen as a threat. She's only a threat because she came back. That's the only threatening thing about her right now. But I think we're going to see a lot more of a threatening player emerge now that she's made the merge. She wasn't the first boot. She can feel comfortable making a move, taking a risk. And I think the letter is what's given her that memory.
Also, I feel like when she talks to people, she makes people like feel safe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I talked to her for like, maybe like an hour, like tops. Like, and I felt that way, like I think like the social game is just like, it's like soft. It doesn't like come immediately, but like it's there,
Were you in the tribe with her, or was she in the other tribe?
No, but she was the only person who like pre-game I like felt a vibe with. So yeah. Yeah, it's just first boot. I was like,
I guess it just shows, first boots can be legends, It's just what it shows, I guess. Vote them out before they win.
Josh, if you were on this, you were going to be way more David than you were Kiara.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah. But David, who doesn't make it as far as David did, like maybe second try.
That comment from Kyle.
Yeah, Vince is a lot better bringing up the comments.
Sorry, I'll bring them up. There you go. There's another one.
This is quality content.
It was like 5 years ago now. I don't know.
See, look at this. Look at Kara's baby. Oh. Isn't she a baby?
Okay, let's bring Fu in.
Yes.
Are we ready? All right.
Oh my gosh! Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. How is everyone?
Good.
We're
Thank
good.
you for coming on. So exciting to meet you.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yep.
Oh, nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much for having me. Liz, I loved you in Backyard Survivor, so it's awesome to be on this chat with you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a good time.
Did you love Josh in Melbourne Survivor 2?
Nobody
I'm
does.
sorry.
It's fine.
I don't think I watched that one.
It's okay. If you watch the first episode, you see the whole of my game. That's really good.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's the most viewed, one of the most viewed LRGs on YouTube. He'll tell you. So,
and actually, that's true. That is true.
Down after that first episode.
Yep. Everyone did not want to watch it anymore.
Now, I have a question for you, Fu, that I asked when I was on the show previously. And maybe this was just you showing your savagery early. But how could you not give the idol to Holly?
Oh, we all thought as a team that they wouldn't pick Holly. Like that would be just the most savage move for anyone to make. Even I was like, not as heartless, sorry. But they still made it. And it goes to show that straight out the bat, people were down to play. But yeah, that was pretty brutal.
That said, okay, you're right. Okay. But what if Ken revealed he had the idol to the rest of them? Then who are they voting for?
Yeah, look, we thought it was Josh. We thought Josh was going to be going home because he, over the beams, I was watching him. And I just remember seeing this dude just like flop over. And I'm just like, unfortunate of events. So we thought it was going to be Josh. And we didn't even think it was going to be Ken. So I don't know. We thought Ken was really cute because he didn't, know much about the Outback.
Yeah, no, Ken was cute. It's just my question, but I think it's just showed you're trying to put on the rest of the tribe. I recall them saying, "Well, you found the thing, so you make the final decision." That's what they said to you. They put it on you, so I'm putting it on you now.
I'm not gonna lie, I was like stressing because I was like, "Crap, what names did we say?" Because I struggle with like names in general. But I got on Backyard Survivor because I remembered the two hosts' name. It's Brian Kyle, by the way. So just let you know. But yeah, we were stressing.
It's good that you remember their names. Yeah.
Thank you.
How was your experience on it? Because clearly, did you watch obviously you watched season 3 with Liz. And did you watch the previous seasons as well?
I did. So I watched all the seasons themselves. So I think it was Kyle used to work at a store. I'm gonna just call it a fruit store. And I also used to work at a fruit store. So kind of working together, you have this type of, I guess, communication style that people get hired at this fruit store. I kind of feel like a lot of the times when I'm talking to everyone, they also have that type of communication style. They're very good at talking. They're very good at being personable with people. And yeah, it kind of took me off guard. My confidence was like high, and then it just dropped, and then it just drop. And yeah, that was kind of my experience, was just kind of going through it, meeting so many people at the same time, and then trying to play. It was full on.
Yeah. I feel like there's like the fruit store made something else, but
yeah, that was an incredibly vague story.
What, I guess what type of experiences would you mean? Because there's so much to it. Like
your like run, like how production went for you, and like even like your experience after the game, like watching yourself back, and like the fans' reactions to your game, because you were one of the most loved players on this season by far. So
stop.
Yeah, everyone had you as their winner pick nearly, and you let everyone down. You let everyone down, but it's okay.
Oh, God, I know. I just couldn't cut the head off the steak fast enough, you know? Like, Abby, if you're listening, girl, recognize game. She was so difficult just to get through anyone. But sorry, I'll go back to your question, which is what my experience was like, I guess. I want to say experience through the game was just a blur. Like, when I'm thinking back of it, it's just a blur of trying to talk to people as quick as possible, doing takes with the cameras. So you'd run off with someone, and then you do your behind the scenes, and then you have like at least 10 to 15 minutes to try and strategize with just anyone who's in your vicinity. So that was myself a blur. When I got voted out, there was actually like just this huge ton of relief that kind of washed over me, because I finally didn't have to think about who am I going to, talk to next? Who is on my team? Like, I'm counting numbers and everything, and I'm terrible with numbers. And so this huge like relief kind of washed over me, and I actually broke down crying afterwards, just because it was such an overwhelming experience of just like, thank God I don't have to do this, but I'm so happy I played. And then afterwards, I remember like the first day after Backyard Survivor, I'd taken the day off, because I knew I was just going to be spent. And like, I remember just sitting on a couch, just huddled in my Udi. I don't know. It was just like a shock reaction of just like not being in the game anymore. And we were all just like chatting on Messenger and stuff. But I was just like, man, like I was still thinking strategy. I was dreaming strategy like 2-3 months after I'd finished the game. I'm just like in this dream. I'm like trying to find idols. I'm trying to talk to people. And I wake up like panicking, like, oh God, like am I still in the game? It was like horrible, but like at the same time, it's such an experience that I was just like kind of traumatized.
Yeah, survivor games are great.
Who are you closest to? Like, who's the best friend that you made on the day that you're still closest with today?
Oh, that's so hard. I feel like
you can say like, multiple people if you
yeah. So Rachel Rima invited me to her wedding after the game, which was really sweet of her. She looked gorgeous. She was amazing. I loved it because she's a lawyer. We found out after the game. And in her vows, she was like, you are now a part of this binding contract. And I just thought it was just so her. So Rachel Rima's close. Josh messages me a lot just to check up on me, which is really sweet. I really love that. And then recently, Blue Team all had our dinner. Finally, we had our dinner, which we actually promised in the game. And during the game, I was like, this isn't gonna happen. But we ended up having a dinner after that, which is really nice. And Kyle and I normally we go to hip hop dancing every Monday. Haven't had that in a while, but we normally do that. But yeah, those are my close besties at the moment.
When you're bringing up Rachel is really interesting, because I don't know if you saw the episode where I was on this previously, but I was criticizing Rachel for doing a bad job. I wasn't criticizing. I was criticizing you. You were the one that said you were the journalist, right?
That was
No.
Rachel.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, that's
sorry,
Rachel.
I'm confused. Yeah, I criticized Rachel. That's right. That's what I criticized.
That's fair.
I want to be on when she's on because I got to take her to town on her fake job.
Why did you think her journalism impression was bad?
Well, she got really stumped by it. Like, she didn't do a very good one. And also, being a journalism student doesn't mean you can be a newsreader. Like, that's a completely different concept. I don't know if she got sucked into that. You just be like, I don't do that. I'm learning journalism.
Like, they link together. Like, one would generate interest for the other.
Yeah. I'm just
And
saying.
then, like, being a lawyer, like Fiona, you know, like they use that as ammo against.
Yeah. That was the first thing I used. Like, that's a lawyer.
You're all correct. This is what I'm saying. I am a lawyer who faked my job and I did it well. This is the point. This is why when you guys finally see Melbourne 3, you'll see the gold standard of fake lawyer.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I feel like there wasn't much thought about for the journalism after that. You're right.
Yeah. I understand why people lie about their jobs, like especially if jobs like that, where your job is literally to like appease people, really, like to make people understand your point of view.
It's a scary job.
Yeah, I can understand it.
Did you lie about your job, Fu? Like, were people worried that you'd be able to read, you know, like that your editing skills would see your story, or did you just lie to Kyle and Brian about it so they didn't try and like rope you in to edit their show?
I thought about that. I was like, oh, should I lie about my job and everything? But I think it would just unravel. I think because I was just causing so much mischief in other aspects. I was like, I can't be bothered focusing on what I actually am. So I'm just gonna be me.
Yeah.
So I am the video editor.
When like else. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm a video editor outside. And I think that's why I break the fourth wall constantly.
Were you thinking about that? Were you thinking about how something could feed into a good edit, like not an edit for your story, but just what looks good on camera, looking at film so much in your job?
That's a really good question. I don't think I was by the first merge where like we had to all like blue team was like, you know, taken out and we had to join red and yellow. I feel like after that, I didn't really bother that much about where my angles were in the camera. But I know David did. David loved his angles. It would be so funny. He was like behind the scenes, right? We'd be like all standing around. And he goes, hang on, wait. Everyone just turn 90 degrees because the camera's there. We all have to shuffle.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, he was up there, like top tier content. So he was more focused on that. But I think, I think as an editor, you know, I found it really interesting because I wanted to know what my story was going to look like after they'd edited me. I was very curious about that.
Did you think you'd have a hero edit given all the knifings that you did as you went on? Because you had a hero edit, but you were like,
I know. I was coming at him. Just coming at him at cleavers everywhere.
Yeah. And you still got the hero edit.
I know. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. But I think I'm really happy with the edit, and I'm stoked that I look like a hero because, like, behind the scenes, I just look like a crazy maniac being like, "Whose back can I grab?" You know, it's crazy.
Classic. There was a moment when you talk about looking at the camera in this episode, which I thought was quite funny, a great little swan song moment. I can't remember the exact strategy discussion. It might have been something Abby was trying to sell that was just sounded like nonsense. She was spinning off this planet, and you just turned to the camera with this sort of like.
You're just like, no, that is not happening. I'm sorry.
We all know where she's at. She's just mouthing off. So we all have to give it that, though. Well, but she was.
It's just the deadpan. It's just so hilarious. It's just like just that look of just like, really, like it was just like.
Who did you think? Did you think that Abby was going? Did you think you'd swung someone from yellow to vote with you guys?
Oh, I really thought I swung Val. And Matt B. Yeah, that's who I really thought I'd gotten in the bag. And because Val was like telling me beforehand, Matt C has all the free gifts. He keeps sending them to me. So just hit him up for that. Val was saying like how Abby got her out the first round, you know, and I kept on trying to push that. I was like, she got you out first round. Let's get her back. And she was like, yeah. So I thought she was on board. But you have such small amount of time to kind of confirm that and really read. And I'm not very good at reading people. I'm not going to lie. I think everything's like rainbows and like butterflies. So like, I just think good intentions.
There was a moment, I think, in this episode where I think Matt B undid all your great work with Valentina, where he basically said, no, Fu's basically lying to you, stick with Yellow, which we've talked about in this episode, what a great job Matt was doing of keeping Yellow together in that episode. Did you see that conversation when you watched it on Sunday night and go, that's where I got, that was it?
Yeah, exactly. I kind of like, as soon as I saw it and I saw that yellow tribe kind of like coming back together, I was like, oh, like there is no chance. But, being the last blue, being like, I just want to be like surviving and just, giving it my all after that, especially the letters. Like, I feel like, there was only so much I can give. And I did as much as I could. Yeah. But Matt just got even closer to everyone else, so yeah, that's okay. You gotta give him that.
Your letter moment. Your letter moment was really, really lovely. Josh, did you get moved by Fu's? Like that was one of the better ones. It was really emotional.
Look, I'm not an emotional person, so it's like look, it was good to see emotion. As far as getting moved, I really only got moved on Kiara's one, because me and Kiara are both first boots, and I sort of share like that connection with it. Yeah. If you're not a first boot, you never understand it.
Yeah.
Did your parents watch it, Fu? How did they feel about it?
Yeah, my mom's been watching every episode. It's crazy. Yeah. I was just like, damn. She's like, oh my gosh, you did this. And I'm just like, haha, lol. So it's really nice to see like my family. My family don't really watch like TV series itself, so that's really cute.
Sorry, Josh, I interrupted you.
That's okay. Yeah, I was about to say like your connection that you built up with Val after she came back, like you're the only person we've really seen try to pull her into your alliance, and I don't understand why she didn't join you, and I'm assuming she was happy just to side with the original OG Yellow. But did you have that strategy knowing that when she was coming back, or was that your strategy as soon as she came back, I have to talk to her?
That's kind of, because like I said, like your brain when you're playing is like just constant strategy. Like who can you use to kind of like pull into your side? And it's unfortunate, but like the game is like use anything. So one of the things was knowing that Abby had gotten her out, and the reason why I knew she got her out was because when they were doing the last, that last challenge to get back into the game, Abby was next to me and she whispered, "Shit. If she gets back in, I'm screwed." And I know, and obviously no cameras are on us, but I kind of looked at her like, oh my God, like this could be information I can use. And when she got in, I was like, that's the first thing I have to go through, because now, Jake doesn't really trust me. Red, I don't know if they trust me. And Yellow, I haven't even talked to them yet. So yeah, it was like, if it's going to be now, it has to be now. And I did have a conversation with her, but I just don't think it was enough.
Well, look, you played the game and you've probably spoken to these people after the fact, but on the edit, it looked like it was enough until Matt got in there and just, wide-handed all your good work. I thought you had her on the previous episode, but then this one. Were things when you got to the jury, very frosty? Maybe I was just be paying for the VIP content. Red trusted you. We had to, says Matt. I felt like they trusted you. No, maybe this is in the VIP content, the Ponderosas. But when you met back up with Jake, was that very frosty, or was it? It's all in the past. Bygones be gone.
It was good when we met. We had a good chat about it. I had to break the ice and be like, look, man, like I'm sorry to I've voted you out. I'm sorry to vote Dan out. I think he was more sad that Dan was out, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Talking to Jake last week, he was more disappointed that he lost Dan than himself being out of the game.
Yeah. And it was, you could see it, which is why, I think everyone can see it. That's why the boys were like, he needs a new daddy. But yeah, so I think he was more upset about that. But then, when we got to Ponderosa, We had a good chat about it. We would chill. He does a lot of TikToks. I do a lot of TikToks as well. So we kind of bonded about that, made a TikTok, made up. It's all good.
Great.
Do you have your TikTok handle for people out in the world?
No. better
okay.
not. But I got Instagram handle. You can use that.
That's fine. So I like to ask this question. I'm going to change it up a little bit, just so we don't get like any spoilers or anything for further going up. Out of the pre-merge or Jake, who would you want to see return to the game?
To see return?
Yeah, to like play again.
From my season as well?
Yeah, so from your season. So from all the pre-merge people, so like Holly down to there, and then Jake as well. Who would you want to see come back and play again?
Oh, I wish I could have seen Holly play. As cliche as that sounds, I love Holly. She's got the funniest one-liners. She's a thinker, and I think she just didn't have the chance to play. And I think that's really really sad. To me, that's really sad.
It is very sad. If only you could have done something about it, you know. If only.
I know, right? Give it an idol, dang it.
It would have changed the game a bit, actually.
It would have. Yeah, because if Holly got the idol, then Ken would go out.
I don't think it changed much. Holly just goes second.
You reckon?
When Holly,
I reckon she builds more of a trust with people.
I think those 4 reds are really connected really well, and I think they connect. Yeah. I think it just switches the order.
Maybe they win the challenge with Holly. Maybe Holly makes them win the challenge.
Possible.
Could have been.
I feel like you can do a lot of what ifs.
I know. That's exactly what keeps me up at night. CK. That was one of my biggest like what ifs. And this is when we really screwed up. So Josh, if you're listening, get ready for this, baby. Because
he's definitely listening.
Yeah, there he is. O'Brien.
Holly goes second for sure. I know. I got the read. I know what's going on. All right, sorry.
So it was Jake's. It was Jake's basically time, and like we were all ready to vote and everything. And the first vote obviously was going. I forgot because I'm just going through so many episodes now. The vote was tie, and we had to basically either draw rocks or do it again. And I remember Josh looking at me, and he was like, "I'm not going for rocks for Jake." And I was like, "Crap! Like that means I'm gonna have to flip." So we flipped, and if we didn't flip, we would have gotten we would have gotten Val.
Salvador's. Yeah, because Salvador. Yeah.
So it was we were just spewing, and like we talk about that moment every single time.
Yeah, because you had the numbers then, and the whole game would probably unfold very differently than what's actually
exactly.
Yeah, it would be a very significant one. But and maybe I guess rocks with 10, 12 people. It's like it's it's not the worst odds. Like it's not the worst odds.
It's not too bad.
It's like you've got a 1 in 10 shot of going like.
And at that point of the game as well, like. When the numbers are even, I think rocks is sometimes the best option. If you can't, you don't want to take out one of your own members. You'd rather have that 50% chance of keeping one in.
Exactly.
And I think it's probably potentially one of the better options to do. So I'm surprised that like people didn't want to do rocks personally. But
it was only Fu. It was only Fu and Jake.
Yeah,
Fu and Josh, they didn't want to do it.
Yeah, it was me and Josh. And we talk about it every time because if we had just stuck to our guns and gone and kept Jake, then like that would have just flipped the game. Yeah.
Yes. But there's reasons why you didn't do it. I think Mel was right about when to do it. But there's reason. Look, from the edit, there's reasons you didn't do it. You just screwed over Jake, so you didn't feel like he was loyal to you. You're worried about Abby's connection to him, and you saw her as your major opponent. So was he a number that you were keeping? No.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like,
is he a number that's going to stick with you even if you save him? Like you don't think he is.
It's
so
true. Yeah, exactly.
And I think
he was super salty that Dan left, and I was a part of it. Even though I was not a part of it. Dang it.
Kyle, to answer your question, I would draw rocks at merge if I needed to.
Kyle, Josh would
I
do
would flip.
anything that's remotely strategic and like a big play at any moment he possibly can. That's
Of course.
Jake
Why not?
stuff.
Why not? Why
Flip.
would I not want to be in the edit? I would love to be in the edit. Like, put me in.
Do you flip? You
Like,
have control at least of that vote.
I would also do rocks at merge if it was a 5-5 or a 6-6 with my alliance and the other lines.
I think it's the right play, personally. But Survivor is one of them games where you can literally have any route to the end, and they're all deserving. It just depends who sells it better.
I think the one thing, Fu, that I think the other thing through there is that anyone that's played one of these games knows how you feel. There are just days and days and group chats and individual chats about, if I had done this, what would you have done? If I had done this, what would you have done? So you play out every possible option. If we'd gone to tribal at this time, who would have gone? Who would you have voted for? Like all these sorts of things. And you do it all. And eventually you get through it all and your head goes back to normal. But it takes a while.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Alrighty. Do we have any more questions for Fu? I am all out.
Same.
Who don't you like from the cast? Who aren't you friends with? Yeah. That's rough.
I see.
No, you don't actually have to answer that.
Do I have to answer that? I don't have to answer that, right? I love everyone. They were amazing.
You love everyone. I think that's the right answer. Do you have anything that you want to say? Is there something that you felt was left out of the show, or that was pivotal for you, or?
Not really. I think it was really. It was. I think I don't know. I like the storyline. I liked how they edited my story, which is really narcissistic for me to say, but I think it's a really nice. I didn't expect it. And I think it's because I've always thought, I don't know, as I'm doing video editing, but I also do marketing as well, and they're kind of like they're spinners of like the truth. And sometimes I feel like when I'm marketing myself, or I'm just like marketing myself, I don't know if that's the truth. I don't know if that is me. And like watching it back, I'm really glad that it was a side where I'm like, yeah, like I can see that that's me. And it was just it was after, especially after merge, like it was just really raw, even though it was like, 2 episodes, I felt like, like I was just so in the game, not on my phone, not on nothing, just wanted to play the strategy and get to know everyone. And I played that and I'm really happy with it.
You should be really happy. You played an amazing game. You're well loved as a person, which is great. But I think for you, I think you're more of a person that would like to have their game respected, not just be someone people liked. And you made a lot of moves. Everyone loves the moves you made. You kept the show entertaining. You were entertaining the camera. You weren't afraid to take a chance to make a move, and that's all people want to see when you're watching these shows. So look. I think someone's saying you're amazing, and you were amazing. But and I'm glad you said that you saw. It's not ever 100% you, because you're playing a deceptive person out there, and that's not who we are in real life. But I'm glad you saw a part of you there that you're really happy with, and that you identify with.
Yeah, thank you. I really love. I think it was Jared Sang from second season of Australian Survivor. And he said something like when his winning speech of why he should win, and the fact that he's a good Christian boy out in reality, and just
Jericho.
living that life. But like, don't know.
Jericho.
Is it? Oh, which one was it?
It's Jericho.
Jericho.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jericho, not Jared Sang. Sorry, Jared Sang some curse. I don't know. I see him all the time. Sorry, wrong person.
Jared had the long hair.
Yeah, that one. No, not Jared Sang. Sorry, Jericho, and how he was just like. Yeah, just like a good person in real life, but in Survivor, he wants to play like the opposite version. And that really spoke to me a lot, because I was like, I want to try that opposite version. I just want to be let loose. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. One more thing, we're gonna see you again, because if we don't, it's not. we need to see you again.
Oh no.
Sure.
Are you talking? What do you say? As a guest on the podcast,
as a guest, as a player, as a whatever. We need to see you again.
Oh, fantastic! Sure. Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. Like when Carl said they wanted you guys wanted to interview me, I was like, oh my god, amazing! Like I can't wait. Just because it's so nice to be able to talk to people who weren't in the game. and how they feel about it too. That's really, really fun. And I really liked it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we really enjoyed watching you. Good time.
Thanks.
Now we
guys.
won't watch anymore because you're not on it. So
No, keep watching.
We gotta watch
I'm
the jury reactions.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
watching. Yeah. It's gonna be the eyes doing all sorts of things.
Eye
That's gonna be top tier content tomorrow. I reckon.
Yeah, I know. I just want to come. I just want to say I come out in like a killer outfit. So just like keep
Yeah.
watching.
okay, we are
Oh,
okay.
so you're one of these people that brought special outfits on the assumption that you would at least make the jury.
Okay, so I did bring like a crazy outfit just in case we made jury, but I didn't have like any any moisturizer. That was the only thing I needed was moisturizer. My face was so dry. It was like the Sahara Desert. It was like 35 degrees. I was like dehydrated and like I walked out looking like a shriveled onion, but in a really nice like outfit.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the confidence to bring the outfits that you just know you're gonna make the jury. So
You gotta, you know.
love it.
All right. Thank you everyone for coming on. We'll be back next week. I don't know what time. My life has been up and down at the moment, so we'll be back next week. I think Vince is back.
Nice.
I think. Unless he doesn't want to join back. I don't know. I'm not too sure, but I think.
Well, maybe you'll have the Edgic God back as well.
Maybe
Maybe
Tara. Maybe Tara might actually end up watching this episode and do the Edgic as well. We can dream though. We can dream. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks everyone for coming. Till next time. We'll see you then.
Right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.